Hey everybody, it's Carol from the Barrie Public Library. Welcome back to my sewing room. Um, I thought today I would show everybody how to make a quick and easy sunglasses case. Most of us wear sunglasses, but these days, a lot of us also, because our workplaces require it, are wearing safety goggles as well as our masks. So I just thought having a little case would be handy. So if you're using this for a sunglass case, then 8-inch by 9-inch pieces of fabric will be fine. Goggles are larger than the typical sunglasses, and these are ones that happen to fit on top of my glasses, so again, they're a little bit larger. So I have cut 2 pieces of fabric. Let's move these out of the way. I have cut 2 pieces of fabric that are 12 by 12. Now, I have lots of scrap fabric, and I had some scrap flannel, and I thought flannel would be good to use on the inside because it's softer and it'll help protect the lens a little bit more from getting scratched. So 2 pieces of fabric, and then I'm going to make a little tab. So cut a 2.5 by 4-inch piece of fabric, which I folded in half and pressed, and then I turned the outside edges in to the center, pressed them down, folded it in half and pressed it again. So it's actually now a 3/4 inch piece of fabric that's 4 inches long, and we're going to use that as a little tab. And then for the lining in between my fabrics, you can use batting, you can use additional fabric, whatever you have on hand. I have some Pellon, which is a type of stabilizer that you can get at any of the local quilt stores. You can get it at Fabricland. I believe Lens Mills and Walmart sells it as well, and it's also available online. It's a little bit heavier, and it will stabilize and give the case just a wee bit more padding. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our piece of Pellon or our piece of batting, lay it down, and then lay our fabric right side up, the outside fabric for our case, right side up on top of our stabilizer. And then we're going to take our lining fabric and we are going to lay it right side down on top of our outside fabric. So we're making a little sandwich here. I'm just going to, you can clip or you can pin this together. I have these handy dandy little clips, so I am just gonna throw some clips on just to keep all 3 layers together. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around the outside edge of the perimeter with a 1/4 inch seam. And we want to leave an opening on one side that's a couple of inches wide, just so that we can turn the whole project right side out. This whole project will take, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I've got my opening here. I'm going to start stitching here, and at the beginning of my seam and at the end of my seam, I'm going to do some back stitching, just some forward and back, just to make that area stronger and to stabilize it so that when we turn the project, nothing tears. So forward and back a couple of times at the beginning, and then we're just going to sew all the way around this outer edge. 1/4 inch or so from the corner, press our foot up, leave our needle in, drop our presser foot, and we will continue on around. Okay, so we're just coming up to the end here on my last side. I'm just stitching down to where I wanted the opening, and then I'm going to do some forward and back. before we turn it, we just want to trim our corners down a little bit. Just make sure that you don't cut into your seam. But this just takes away a little bit of the bulk. All right, so we're going to reach into our opening and we are going to turn everything right side out. Come on. This looks awfully big for a sunglasses case, so like I say, the 8 by 9 inch would be more than ample size for a sunglass case, but because the goggles are bigger, need to make this a little bit bigger. All right. So I made my made my hole large enough that I can get my whole hand in here and just work out the corners so that they're smooth. Right. There we go. Now, where our opening is, we can just fold that under and tuck that in just to make sure that that's closed up. So I'm just going to put a couple of little clips on there. Our original seam was 1/4 of an inch. This one I'm going to suggest doing at about 1/8 of an inch just to close that up. And make sure everything else is smooth all the way around. There we go. Just coming up to the end of this top stitch, and again when we get to where we started, we're going to forward and back a couple times just to lock in place. Pull that out, and there we've got it stitched all around the edge. Close up our little tab. Actually, you can use 1/4 of an inch seam. And we're just going to do a quick forward and back at the beginning, stitch down, forward and back at the end. Okay, now we're going to take our case. What we're going to do is we're going to fold it right side in, and we're going to stitch down the long side and across the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert our little tab, about an inch, maybe 1.5 inches down from the upper edge of our case. So we're going to tuck it in between our layers here. And we're going to tuck it so that the fold is going towards the center. And I am just going to put a little clip in to hold that in place. Just going to clip around these edges. And actually, this case is so large, I probably could have gone smaller than 12 by 12, but my goggles are larger than a standard pair of sunglasses, so better to have it a little bit bigger than not big enough. So just a couple here on the bottom. But I think, whoops, just dropped that one. I can use a 1/2 inch seam here instead of a 1/4 inch seam to close it up. Okay, so we are just going to sew this in place and do the forward and back. Where that little tab is, I'm going to do some forward and back just to lock it in place. This Pellon is a little bit thicker than a standard batting, but it sews very easily. As you can see, I'm not having any trouble stitching through this. Just get to the corner, going to Leave our needle down, lift our presser foot, turn our project, and continue along so we have one continuous seam. And when we get to the end, I'm going to do some forward and back just so that doesn't tear out. And other than turning our project, we are done. Turn it right side out. Come on. In you go. I'll turn those corners out. You can use it. I'm not sure where mine is at the moment, so I'm just using a pen. There we go. There's our case, our little tab, so you can hang it off the side of your purse or hang it off your belt. Take your goggles, your sunglasses, tuck them inside. And actually, even though that is quite a bit bigger, having the extra length, it just kind of fits. So, goggles are protected. My eyes will be protected when I'm at work. And like I say, very easy to just size it down to fit a standard size pair of sunglasses. Quick, easy, and done. So, check us out, www.barrylibrary.ca. We have all kinds of virtual programming happening, all kinds of digital resources available for our patrons. The library is now open, so you're able to come in, you're able to browse our collections and borrow as you would like, whether it's books, whether it's movies, and make yourself a sunglasses case or a goggles case. Check us out, and we will see you next time in the sewing room. Bye-bye for now.